Hi, this is Dennis Taylor, and today I want to tell you a story. I want to tell you a story of a great man. I want to share some life lessons with you, some stuff I've learned over the last few months, spending some time with my uncle while he was on his deathbed. And it had a profound impact on my life. It really allowed me to take a look at my own life and see what's important and see what I value and what I can push forward. I learned a lot from my Uncle Rick. My Uncle Rick, for me, he was a person who always loved on me. He was a person who treated me like his own. He was a person who always made friends wherever he went. He lived his life the way that he wanted. And I learned a lot from him. My uncle got very sick with very bad cancer and complications with surgery trying to remove the cancer. And he passed away last week, and we had to say bye to him. And it was very sad, very very heart touching because we're not going to be able to spend time with him anymore, but very also peaceful because we know that he's in a better place and he's not suffering. So I wanted to share with you some of the life lessons that I learned. So the the day this was, I think it was, uh, it must have been either Memorial Day or the day before Memorial Day. The doctor came in to talk with my uncle, and I was there with him. And the doctor basically told him that there was nothing else that they could do. They couldn't fix his problem. His situation had got, had progressed very bad, and there was no longer anything that they could do. And so, it's like a gut shot there. You are knowing that you're about to pass. Within a given, you're not going to get better. You're not going to heal. Your body's not going to respond correctly. And so it hits you like a ton of bricks. And I'm sitting there with my uncle, and I just wanted to ask him, and I asked him, I said, Uncle Rick, what have you learned from all this? What can you teach me? And he wasn't looking at me when I asked him. When he answered that, he looked right at me, dead in the eyes, and said, Dennis, live your life to the fullest in a positive way towards the Lord. And this hit me hard because my uncle was not a spiritual man. I mean, he was a believer, but he wasn't a spiritual man. He wasn't a saint by any means. He lived his life. He had fun. Um, but he had just told me at that moment that that's all that mattered to him at that moment, was that, he knew the Lord and that he was going on there. And that hit me because I also questioned myself, am I living my life to the fullest? Am I playing big enough in my life? Am I settling in my life, or am I really stretching forward and pushing myself forward? And I think a lot of people are not living to the fullest. I think a lot of people are just going through emotions, and it's sad because when those days hit you, when you're on your deathbed, and you can't change the past, but you can change today. You can take control of your life. You can not settle. You can push forward every day, and that's what I've learned from my uncle, was being with him every day in May. The reason why I was even to be with him in May is because over the last 2 years, I've been able to put myself in a position to not have a boss to have to ask off to do that. And so I just made a commitment there, and I told Rick, I said, Rick, I will live my life to the fullest. I'm not going to settle. And he looked at me and he just said, don't settle. Live your life to the fullest. And I just appreciate that wisdom coming from someone who knows that they're about to pass and knows that that's all that mattered to them in that moment. It was great wisdom and great information and great heart to care for me, to tell me that. you know I don't want to live a life of regret, and I think a lot of people don't either. And so I ask you, and I tell you, why are you settling then? Why are you not reaching for your dreams? What's holding you back? Everything's available in this world. Everything, money, finances, resources, everything's available. But people they're not resourceful. They don't ask better questions. And so when I was in that moment with Rick, when the doctor came in, I could have bawled and I could have, just made him feel bad. I just asked him, what can you teach me from your experience in life? And very powerful, because he did teach me. He taught me so much. He taught me, one, this man always loved me as his own. Always. He always had friends when he went places because he always loved on people. Always. It impacts me because that's how I want to be. I want people to know that I love them. I want people to know that I care for them. I want people to know that I'm there for them. That's ultimately what I want people to know me as someone who always had just a huge heart and just loved on people. That's how I want to be known. You know, I don't know if I know another person that in my whole life was never negative to me. It was always positive, always uplifting, and it just treated me like his own. And I could go on, but the key life lesson in this is don't settle. Live your life to the fullest. Live your life to the fullest. Play big. Don't shrink. And if you don't know how to do that, reach out to me, I'll help you. If you don't know how to do that, get on Google and find answers. There are ways anyone can get their dreams. I'm walking proof of that. Anyone can chase their dreams. Anyone can get their dreams. But you have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to struggle. You have to be willing to give up the comfortability to go get your dreams. To first become successful, you must become uncomfortable. But I'm telling you, 1, 2, 4 years of uncomfortability for a lifetime of comfort and love and just living your life is so worth it. But you'll never know it if you just sit and play small. You'll never know whose life you'll impact if you just sit and play small. Because I want to make a difference. I want to encourage and inspire people to chase their dreams and their passions. So I hope this video helped. I hope that the wisdom my uncles share with me and the opening of my eyes to see what my purpose on this planet is can help you. Can help you reach forward and quit settling. Help you change your life like I've changed my family's life. What are you going to do in that day when your family member is sick and ill and you can't get off work and be there? If you start today, maybe you can make that situation reality where you can be there every day when someone's sick. I know for me, if anybody in my family is going to be sick, like to that point where my uncle is, I'm there. Because I put myself in a position to be able to do that. And anybody has that power, you just have to find the right vehicle to get you there. So thank you. I appreciate you for watching this. I love you, and I just look forward to talking with you more and sharing with you. If you found value in this video, please share it out. People need to have hope and inspiration in their life. Tag someone in this video that you see that could use this. Share it with someone that you see that needs this. And I appreciate you. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, thanks. Bye.